Right now, the relationship between India and Pakistan is resting at absolute zero. To understand what's happening behind closed doors, we look at the tense reality on the surface. Officially, diplomatic ties are virtually non-existent. There are no high commissioners, and direct trade has completely flatlined. The mutual airspace ban is so severe that if a commercial airliner from either nation clips the other's airspace for even a few seconds, it instantly makes national headlines. And the public rhetoric is escalating rapidly. Pakistan's defense minister has openly threatened preemptive military strikes, while the Pakistani military executes severe crackdowns on civilians in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. By all public metrics, these two nuclear-armed neighbors appear closer to an active conflict than at any point in history, rendering traditional diplomacy essentially extinct. Yet, multiple intelligence and diplomatic leaks confirm that senior officials from both nations are currently sitting in rooms together, holding secret, back-channel negotiations. These meetings aren't happening in New Delhi or Islamabad. They're taking place on neutral ground, specifically in Bangkok, Thailand, and here in Colombo, Sri Lanka. 13 months ago, right after a military standoff known as Operation Sindoor was paused, U.S. politician Marco Rubio stated publicly that both governments agreed to hold talks at neutral sites. At the time, the Indian government heavily rejected that claim, insisting no negotiations would take place. With official relations at a standstill and the earlier American timeline flatly denied, a new unspoken pressure has forced a change in the calculation for both sides. The next major regional conflict will not be over territory. The engine driving these covert meetings is a desperate struggle over water. Take a look at this map of the Indus River system flowing from India into Pakistan. India has essentially placed the long-standing Indus Water Treaty in limbo. With that agreement on ice, the flow of baseline water security for millions is in jeopardy. Because of this freeze, the Pakistani government braced for a catastrophic countrywide water shortage throughout 2025. That disaster was delayed by sheer geographical luck. Massive, overwhelming floods hit the region in 2025. While destructive, the extreme rainfall accidentally saturated the agricultural sector, saving the country's crop yield for exactly 1 year. The floodwaters bought Islamabad 12 months of borrowed time, but the systemic resource collapse was merely delayed, not fixed. Now, in 2026, that borrowed time has expired, triggering a massive internal crisis. The metrics are staggering. Right now, local authorities in major hubs like Karachi are failing to supply water to 70. This domestic collapse is the direct catalyst for the meetings in Bangkok and Colombo. Pakistan initiated these back channels out of pure internal desperation, not a sudden wave of diplomatic goodwill. The aggressive military posturing and threats of strikes we see on television are a calculated smokescreen, engineered to mask a profound existential vulnerability at home. Environmental scarcity is the primary architect of the meetings in Colombo and Bangkok, overriding years of political deadlock. The existing historical grievances and public hostility remain as entrenched as ever. These talks represent geopolitical triage, the use of hidden channels to manage survival, while the public-facing politics demand absolute friction. The public freeze is going to stay intact, the airspace will remain closed, and New Delhi will continue to heavily condemn the actions of Pakistani forces in Kashmir. The harsh reality of a collapsing ecosystem has forced a dialogue that decades of traditional politics never could achieve, which leaves India facing a high-stakes dilemma. New Delhi is now sitting across the table from a nuclear-armed adversary backed into a corner by severe instability and a drying water supply. Is opening this back channel a genuine opportunity to dictate long-term regional stability, or is it a massive strategic risk? India currently holds the ultimate geopolitical lever, water. The only question now is whether this is the right moment to pull it.